Soundstripe.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to My Spouse is My Best Friend. I'm your co-host, Nicole.
I'm Dr. Green.
And today we have a very, very special guest. Today we have Aaron Fields with us. Well, today we want to talk about the right perspective, especially the early echoes. And so you are a certified postpartum doula.
Yes, great.
Which we haven't really heard the terms of exactly of what that is. So can you walk us through exactly what is a doula and then what is a postpartum doula?
Because it's not the doula you're thinking about that you see on Grown Ups. So, Aaron, can you help us out and give us kind of what a doula is?
Most definitely. Well, first of all, I greatly appreciate you all for having me. This is definitely an honor.
We appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. So to answer your question, well, there's different forms of doulas. Of course, you have like the birth doula, postpartum. There's also different various of doulas. But really, to sum it all up, when it comes to being a doula, you're basically providing a lot of, well, the main service and the focal point is moms when it comes to maternal health.
Okay.
So the focal point is them, and then offering anything that pertains to informational support, emotional support, physical support, as well as educational support when it comes to the mom, her understanding her body throughout the whole pregnancy journey,
Okay.
so on and so forth. And then kind of fast forwarding over to the postpartum period, still offering her those types of services, but it's just a little bit different because now the baby's already has been delivered. Now we got to make sure that she is healthy in every aspect of her life, especially when it comes to the physical aspect of it. So, once moms have the babies, everything is changing, especially with their bodies physically. So it's very important for doulas to be mindful of that and make sure that they're providing her with all the resources and the tools and the information so that way she can be able to be successful and thrive, not just physically, but also mentally when we think of, because it ties into postpartum depression.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure we address all those needs, and there's so many layers to it. So just making sure that the mom is healthy as well as the baby being healthy, and then making sure that she has a very strong support system. So that's where father comes in, other members of the family, or anyone else in the community. That's where that term you kind of hear like it takes a village. So
it takes a village, yeah.
So that concept would definitely apply to the moms, well, especially in the doula work that we do.
Okay, so that's what a doula is, y'all. Not what you were thinking.
Early echoes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So early echoes. So there's a mission statement I have for early echoes is what happens early echoes for a lifetime. So it pertains exactly. So it pertains to child development and early intervention. So when it comes to providing that love and support for children, especially early on from the womb and once they're born, it's going to shape the individual, how they view the world and also how they view themselves as they get older. So that's where the business Early Echoes comes in. So just providing a lot of services about child development and making sure that we're able to address a lot of the information early on when it comes to children. So that way, as that baby he or she gets older, they'll be more likely to be in a better position to thrive and succeed based on the early intervention that they were exposed to when they were babies.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, Tom. It keeps echoing because, the echoes keep going and going and going. And you start off somewhere and it keeps going. So, I like that analogy.
Thank you.
So what challenges do you see that families are facing right now?
Oh, that's a good question. So there's a handful of things, but one thing that I've seen, especially in today's time, that's been reoccurring. So a couple of things. One, and this applies to individuals as a whole. So we live in the age of information. So sometimes we tend to experience information overload. Now, when it comes to parents in particular, not only they're experiencing information overload, but they're not exposed to the emotional support that is needed, not only for them, but for their baby. So I think that's some of the major struggles that a lot of parents I'm starting to see that they're starting to, I'll say that's like a barrier for them. The information overload, because there's a lot of parenting information tips out there, but it's just so much information can be overwhelming. And a lot of them, unfortunately, they don't have the information that pertains to them giving a lot of emotional support for their baby. And that right there is going to be very crucial. That's one thing I share with parents all the time is that every situation, every moment matters, with your children.
Right.
So having that emotional support, being emotionally present, emotionally available for that child is going to be very crucial as he or she gets older. And sometimes a lot of parents don't have those tools early on. And sometimes you can see it can kind of be detrimental to that child as they get a little older. You start to see it develop into adulthood, unfortunately. So if it's not taken care of, it can be very devastating sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Google can't teach you everything, y'all. I mean, it gives you information, and I think that hits home in here where they're googling and they're web DMXing and with MD, WebMD and all that, and getting all the information and getting information alone, but it doesn't help with the emotional support, right?
Correct.
Doesn't help on the emotional aspect. You get all the information you want to, but you need somebody or someone to kind of walk you through on the emotions that you're going to go through, especially as a first parent, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So let's be honest. The certified doula, the roles that you're playing is typically for someone that doesn't necessarily look like you, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. Correct. True. That is absolutely true. And I like that that question because as it pertains to postpartum doula, as well as or really just child development, as we all know, this is a definitely female-centered field.
Absolutely.
Right.
So what makes it very important is a couple things. One, me coming in as a guy, it brings a very unique perspective, and from my standpoint, it's very beneficial because now I'm able to have a better understanding about like the sacredness of childbearing, childbirth, early development, and just providing a lot of support in the maternal health field. And one thing I can also share and say is not only just me, but any guy who's in this field of study or fathers is to paint the image that fatherhood is not only important, but it's also essential. So it's a good opportunity for me to contribute in a way where I can share information about the male piece and the fatherhood piece, and just let a lot of folks know that when it comes to fatherhood in particular, they could definitely have the capabilities of being nurturing that very similar to you see in a lot of moms. A lot of dads have the capabilities of also having the ability to read to their children, change the diapers, and just kind of take on a lot of those nurturing roles. So that way, the whole family as a whole can be more equipped to taking care of themselves. And again, that also takes a huge load off of the mom as well. So just provide that information for not only just learning it for myself, but as well as fathers and other men in this field can be very helpful because it makes everyone's life a lot easier. It's definitely needed in today's time too.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, I mean, especially with being a male myself, you kind of shun away from it's like a team. Like you have the mom, and then you have the female doula. You feel left out.
Yes.
Some males feel that way because they don't have the same maturity of other males, and they're like, okay, well, that's their thing. But having you or having another male be able to relate and kind of help them through that, I think that's great.
Oh, yes, sir. I definitely agree. And just to kind of add to that, obviously this is definitely a collective effort. I can just play my role, but from a collective effort standpoint, one thing that is a goal of mine is to kind of make it into like a cultural thing, not just a cultural thing, but even like a societal thing, just kind of get in the habit of normalizing that. So getting to the point where, if you see a dad, you naturally want to invite him into the delivering room. You want to naturally give them the information about, skin to skin, which something you see a lot of moms do prior to them, lead up to them breastfeeding. So a lot of dads can be able to partake in the skin to skin as well as other nurturing traits that a lot of moms do. A lot of dads can be able to partake in those things. So get in the habit of making that to like a culturally normalized thing. I think that can be very beneficial in the community.
Yeah, and it's a great experience. I mean, I did it myself with our youngest one. I mean, back in the days, it was just a mom thing, right? But being able to be skin to skin and be able to nurture her and be able to hold her, you grow. It's a different bond.
Yes.
Then I think it's needed. So thank you for that.
So do you have, or can you share a story of a time where something that you've come across in your work or travel that has deeply impacted you?
Oh, okay. There's a there's a handful of things. I guess.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Absolutely. So one thing I will say during my travels, cause I've recently just doing a lot of travels lately. So especially out of the country. So a lot of the stuff I've been doing outside of the country kind of pertain to a lot of stuff I like doing during my spare time, but a lot of it kind of pertains to some of my professional work. So it kind of ties into it. So I'll give you a couple examples. So one in Costa Rica, one of my mentors who I work with, he goes to Costa Rica sometimes. And there was one time he had invited me out with him along with the other church group. It wasn't, they don't call it a mission trip. It was kind of similar. It's like one of those ministry retreats kind of thing. So they were doing a lot with the youth groups over there. So it was a good time for me to understand the community, just kind of learn some of the youth that they're working with. And one of the things that I was learning during my time with working with them, a lot of them were kind of suffering a lot of similar issues that I've seen whenever I'm working with other folks here in the States. When it comes to like childhood issues, maltreatment, or childhood abandonment issues. And the biggest takeaway I took from my experience in Costa Rica is that a lot of us have unique experiences, but at the same time, there's also a lot of universal pain as well too. That's very similar. So that was the main thing that I took from my experience on working with the youth group over there. It's like, man, this is definitely something that takes place all over the place. So, like I said, there's universal pain, but the good thing is there's also universal hope too. So it was good reassurance for me that with some of the work that I'm doing, it can also be applied really anywhere on a global level. So that was the biggest takeaway I took from that. And I also had another similar experience whenever I went to Italy. That was more so like an author's retreat. So we're still doing a lot of work with the youth group, and a lot of it was ministry work as well too. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it kind of ties into some of the books that I was working with as well in that author's retreat. So when it came time to networking and just working with the different folks I was meeting with, again, a lot of the stuff that we're working on has like universal appeal. So, it's very motivating, inspiring, knowing that not just for me, but anyone, whatever work that we're doing, it can kind of exceed, it can kind of escalate to other places of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I took a trip to India. Was it last year? And that was my first time being, well, not out the country, but being in that type of country. Mm. And we're so used to being here and seeing things here and relating things here. And then when you go out, and I tell everybody, just don't get out, do something. Right. I mean, as a couple, as a marriage, I mean, don't limit your eyes to just the U.S. Mm-hmm. Go out and see other people, because they're living differently, and it's so universal. I mean, and we internalize here and be like, this is how everybody is. Mm-hmm. It's not. When you get out there and you see it universally, it's a totally different aspect. So I really encourage everybody to do that, and I thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your books.
Oh, okay. Well, I get asked that question, I have to like really reflect on that for a little bit, because it's got to the point where, I guess in a good way, I'm kind of addicted to it. Okay. And I say that because it's always good to kind of find something you're passionate about or you like to do, because you can find yourself doing it to the day you die. Right. Matter of fact, just kind of take a step further. One of the reasons why I like doing what I'm doing is that it puts me in a position where I can work on something that can eventually outlive me. Right.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's a good, yeah.
Absolutely. Because I mean, life is short. I mean, God willing, we can live a long, beautiful life and a prosperous life. But as you know, tomorrow's not promised. So while I'm still here, just kind of put a lot of stuff out there, contribute the best way I can. So that way, once I am gone, a lot of stuff that I have can be able to not just outlive me, but just live longer in the hearts and minds of other people.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But to your question about the book, so I've read, most of my books are children's books. So it pertains to anything that's like motivational or like personal development. I've also read like a few self-help books too, as well, from my experience of like mentoring like young adults and things like that. But the bulk of my books are a lot of children's books. And I'm also getting more into like the parenting and child development books as well too. So usually the way how I go about it is usually whatever kind of comes to mind. A lot of it is kind of based on circumstances too, that kind of gives me some ideas on how to write certain things. Real quick, one thing I also want to bring up is that I already have like a huge list of like books I kind of want to write. I already have like the title and the description of books and what it all entails. Now, of course, it's like a huge list. So I'm kind of slowly doing my checklist, but it kind of reminds me of like, whenever I play like video games or I watch movies, it's like a major quest.
Right.
So as y'all, So as y'all know, whenever you're going like on a major quest, sometimes you'll get sidetracked. You have to like take care of like a small side quest before you finish up on the main quest. So I'm kind of like that with the book. So as I'm looking at that list of the books I need to write, sometimes based on like life experience or what I'm seeing in my job or just in life in general, I'll have to kind of take a pause on the main quest and kind of work on like on the side quest for a little bit. But as you know, in life, the beauty of doing like those side quests, it can kind of help you. And I didn't learn this until later on. It can help you be better equipped for the major mission that you take on once you're able to resume back to it. So this gives like a couple of examples. So like some of the books that I've written, obviously a lot of them are just like motivational, like parenting books and things like that. But recently I've been having a lot of fathers I've been working with that have been reaching out to me about their moms being pregnant, and they just, a lot of them have just recently been delivered over at the hospital. So now they're in that field where they're kind of getting some information about like postpartum care and things like that. So at that time, I took it upon myself as far as finding some free time to write a book about fathers taking care of their moms in the postpartum period. So, and I didn't think about that until I started working with a lot of those dads. So, I mentioned that as an example because that's going to help me be more equipped as I start going back to that main quest I mentioned earlier about writing some more books. And, it's always good just to kind of do some of those, what I call like side missions, because again, you learn different skill sets and it just puts you in the best position as you keep moving forward with the stuff you're working on.
Okay. So for our audience, I mean, can you name drop, especially the father one?
Okay.
So name drop so they go out and get some of your books. You have the father one, you have the postpartum one. Just give our audience some think about it. You get it from Amazon or where you get it
Okay, got you. Well, I guess as far as the whole catalog, if you just Google The Right Perspective by Aaron Fields, it'll show you like a whole list of catalogs of all the books I've written over the years. But just some of the books that you just mentioned. Oh, favorites. Oh man, that's a tough one. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I have this mindset where it's like the next book I write, that'll be my favorite one until I write the next one. Oh, now this is my favorite one now.
Yeah.
So, but the ones about postpartum, the one I have that just came out on Amazon is Black Fathers. Well, two Black Fathers, Strong Beginnings, and Black Fathers and Bright Futures. But the one in Strong Beginnings, that one pertains to the postpartum. So it's showcasing some dads in the children's books that just doing their due diligence and take care of mom while the baby is born. He's doing things like cooking, doing like the dishes, the laundries while mom is chilling and resting and things like that. So that way her whole body can heal. So very compelling. It's a good book to read on, especially if you're a father. You're just trying to have some information about postpartum care. So that's just one book as an example. But there's several other books that people can be able to look at.
So if you're a first time dad, go out and get that one. If you're a child of the first time dad, go and get that one as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So any last words, anything else you want to share with us?
No, nothing in particular. Again, I greatly appreciate y'all inviting me out, learning more about you all. And then again, it was definitely truly an honor and a privilege of me just being in the position to just kind of showcase some of my work. And then hopefully whoever's watching, hopefully my services can be somewhat beneficial to whoever's watching. And then again, my goal is just to help better myself so that way I can help put other people in the best position.
So what's next for you, Aaron? You work at Parkland, you're writing books, you're traveling the world and everything else. What's your I mean, you good what you're doing now, or you have something in the works?
So it's funny you say that. So one, I'll definitely continue to do a lot more of my traveling because I'm definitely wanting to put myself out there a lot more. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. One thing that I also say, get in the habit of doing more speaking engagements, and then also like workshops and seminars based on some of the books I've written. So kind of getting more into that realm and get more fully immersed in that. And that kind of ties into like the traveling aspect of it too. One other thing that I'm also working on as far as just trying to enhance my portfolio, just kind of make my services a lot better. I'm also working on some courses. I recently just created an online course on PayHip. I know there's different online sources, but there's one on PayHip that I just put out called Nurturing Minds, a guide to early childhood development. And in that book, it's one of those paid online courses. If anyone was interested in, they can just learn about a few aspects of child development. So in that course, there's me showcasing videos and presentations about, early childhood brain development, nurturing emotion and resilience, on the importance of children being exposed to that at a young age, and kind of tying into the early echo thing that I mentioned earlier about the early intervention and just the responsive caregiving and being there for your child at a young age. So that way, good things can be manifested as that child gets older, things like that.
And I think it's awesome what you're doing, Aaron. I mean, especially in the community, especially as a male community, it's well needed. If a church or anything or a community or somebody needed to get hold of you, how do they contact you to do a conference or do a course or anything like that? How would they get a hold of you to do that?
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely. So a couple of things. Definitely. With my Instagram, I have a following over there, Field 1701, so they could definitely reach out to me.
Field 1701, y'all.
Yes, sir. You can also definitely reach out to me on Facebook as well. I'm pretty active on that aspect of it as well.
Facebook, just Google, just do Aaron Fields. Okay.
And same thing for LinkedIn as well. I'm actually getting there on that. I'm pretty active on that page as well, quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So there's a few channels you can definitely reach out to me from. I guess too, as far as I don't know if they would need like an email or something like that as well. So I have a couple of emails. So there's one that's author Aaron Fields at gmail.com, and I also have another one called early.echoes@gmail.com. So those are a few emails you can be able to reach out to me from. But again, you should be able to find me on a lot of the different social media pages and be able to message me. Then we'll be able to go from there.
And we'll also put the links out there.
We'll put But this has been awesome, man. I mean, it's been an enlightening experience because I mean, I was kind of ignorant in kind of what you did. I know what a doula is from other aspects, but to know that how you're doing it is unique.
Oh yes,
and
sir.
I think it's awesome what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I greatly appreciate that.
All right. Well, we appreciate Aaron you coming out. Mm-hmm. Again, thank you for being on My Spouse, My Best Friend. What are we doing this week? We doing anything this week as far as?
I don't know. I'm just happy to be here today.
Oh Lord. Click like or subscribe.
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 He does this every week.
Every week. Go on our website, My Spouse, My Best Friend. You know, we have our merchandise out there. Please go out there and look. We're going to have some new stuff coming out here shortly. Remember that all proceeds go to our scholarship fund for first Black American students.
First generation African American college students. See? This is why I'm here. This is what a wife is.
Yeah,
she's a helpmate.
Helpmate. Pure example. Anyways, thank y'all. All right, bye.
Soundstripe.